who ran a midterm campaign promising change in Iraq seem to be missing in action. Joining me now are Democratic strategist Flavia Colgan and Republican strategist Edwina Rogers. Nice to see you both ladies again.
Thank you.
Okay, so Flavia, Senator John McCain is out there. He's calling for 50,000 more troops. The Pentagon's talking about going big, sending in more troops. Where are the Democrats on this?
Well, I think the Democrats are a lot closer to where the American public is. Look, GOP Senator Chuck Hagel came out the other day and said there will be no military victory in Iraq. 50,000 troops just isn't feasible. We don't have them. I think what the Democrats are doing is some of them are waiting and saying we want to see what the Iraq Study Group is going to say, but of course a lot of that is leaking right now. What I see as the Democratic position is a phased troop withdrawal. Combine that with Jack Murtha's position of strategic redeployment, which unfortunately continues to be misrepresented by both the media and Republicans. It's this canard of cut and run. It's nothing of the sort. It's bringing people out to the periphery, having strike forces.
No,
the point is we need to get out of Iraq. $300 billion, 2,800 people dead, hundreds of thousands of Iraqis dead.
Go ahead, Edwina. All right, Flavia. Go ahead, Edwina.
The Democrats do not have a plan, and it's very obvious that they don't. Nancy Pelosi had her first defeat over this issue. She was backing Murtha for majority leader, and Hoyer was the one who won. And he has a more moderate plan than John Murtha does. And I mean, that's the problem. But at the end of the day, the president's still commander-in-chief. And this reminds me of 1939 when Churchill wanted to stay and fight Hitler, and all the appeasers wanted to just give up. And history will tell that Churchill was right in that particular case, and then it will also tell that the president's position is the correct position here. And McCain actually is on the right side of this issue also. Obviously, more troops will give us a better chance of success at this point. The military has said they've done everything they can possibly do at this point with the troops that they have on the ground. They need more troops so they can get control of the country, get it stabilized, and then they can turn things over slowly to the Iraqi security forces.
It seems like there's so much pressure at this point on James Baker and his commission, his Iraq Study Group, to come up with new and innovative ideas, and the American public is just waiting for this silver bullet. They're going to come. I think the American public is really hoping that they're going to come forward and have a recommendation that solves the problems. But insiders say that's not going to happen. It's not going to lay out some differently marked strategy. So at this point, do you think that Democrats are going to have to come forward and put some real ideas out on the table if they want to counter whatever the Iraq Study Group comes up with? What do you think, Flavia?
Absolutely. I mean, look, I've been saying this for quite some time. It's not enough to just criticize the president's position. And Edwina is exactly right. The Democrats can say what they want, but the president is still the commander-in-chief. They don't give orders to generals. But the Democrats have to be very clear. And of course, Contessa, as you're pointing out, this is a very complex issue. There is no silver bullet. But at the end of the day, 25 million Iraqis are who's going to change Iraq. The military is there to fight wars. We are not there to patch together countries in the midst of civil war. We've seen two of the deadliest days ever in Iraq, and I think it's clear to the American people and to most, except apparently Edwina and Dick Cheney and a couple others who haven't gotten the memo on the reality of the situation there, that this is not sustainable.
Edwina,
the war is not winnable.
You know, this. Let's talk about the Baker-Hamilton Commission. There are a lot of Democrats, high-level Democrats, on that commission too, and of course they're talking to the leaders back in Washington. They're talking to Pelosi and others, and they're just a limited number of choices. We all know what they are. They're already starting to leak out. It's involved the neighbors more, Syria, Iran, Jordan, involve them more, turn over more security to the Iraqis, make them take responsibility, make it clear to them that we're not going to be there forever, and then as a last resort, end up something like Yugoslavia, where you have these three federated states with the Sunnis and the Kurds and the Shiites.
Edwina Rogers, Flavia
Those are basically
Colgan.
our only choices.
Ladies, thank you.
Thank you very much.